Hi everybody, Ben here from Art Less Ordinary. So it's Christmas morning and I am going to do a Christmas pour. Well, it's not really a Christmas colours or anything, it's just an artwork I'm going to do on Christmas morning. So I am just lining up my canvas. So what we have, before I start, this is yesterday's swipe, dried. It's nice, it's pretty. It's a little bit more just subtle and plain than I had expected. Don't know if you guys can see the colours or the shimmer in it. The middle has gone, you can see the colours through the silver more now. The lacing's beautiful, but it's not as bold as what I would prefer. But it's dry, looks alright, so that's going away to cure. And in the meantime, we have I am going to do a swipe. I am going to do one on a slight angle this time. And the colours, I was so unsure what colours to use. I didn't want to use too many colours. So I've decided to go for the bright gold in the decoart texture and the deep turquoise with some black in there as well. So these here are the texture paints, which are here. They are mixed 4 parts floetrol to 1 part paint. And the black is just normal plain holcroft carbon black, which is mixed 3 parts paint. No, 3 parts floetrol to 1 part paint. And I have my white base, which is 1 part paint to 4 parts floetrol. So we will get started on this now. I will pause it while I pour my background and then I will be back. Okay, we are back. So I'm just trying to make sure that I've got enough colours. So what I'm actually going to do is slightly different to how I sometimes do it. It's not much different. So I'm going to get the blue. I got to do a wiggle. So we're going to start here. Wow. There we go. A little bit wonky at the beginning. So normally I just do 1 little row, but I decided to do 2 this time. And now we have our black. We're running out of the black. Okay. Pardon me. Okay, so that there hopefully is enough of the paint and the colours, so I'm just trying to think what size swipes to do. I might do the a card cut in half, but what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to cut my card so it matches that angle. So it's just a matter of cutting like some diagonals off. So I'll do this with a couple of cards now while I have my scissors out. You just work out the rough angle of the swipe, and then you cut your card. You don't have to do this, I just find it works out a little bit easier for me if I do it. Okay, that should be enough for now. If I need more, it doesn't take too long to cut a card up. Put my cards there, get my swipe towel ready. Place that there. And now it's just a matter of doing some swipes. So half off for the first swipe, remember? Take half your paint and swipe. Turning my card around. Turn my paper towel around too. Now, as you get to the smaller parts, it's not as easy to swipe with the points. So just do your best without Okay, so now doing these swipes, a few people have said to me that they've tried to replicate these and they've had a little bit of trouble. It does take time to learn how to do the swipe. So I don't really put a lot of pressure down. I put a little bit of pressure down at first to kind of grab the paint, but I don't pull it hard. If you put pressure down and pull hard, you get very solid blocks like this. You've got to kind of work out that balance between having it too light where it starts skipping and too heavy where you're dragging all the paint and digging right down into it. I'm not really too sure what advice I could give apart from just practice a little bit. Even if you just get a canvas and just do some swipes and see how it goes. And your base paint can't be too thick. So when I get this type of really cool lacing and the style of swipes that I do, my base paint is not thick at all. I put it on, I spread it around, and then I tilt it. And by the time I finish tilting all four corners, there's not a lot of runoff paint left. But it is still covered. If you have it too thick, your paint will bleed a lot more or sink in. Like this is starting to sink in a little bit here. There must be more paint settling in the middle of the canvas, so it's sunk down underneath it. I feel bad that I actually can't give more tips or advice on how much pressure to put down, but it is just a little bit of working it out. I just have to, I just put enough pressure down that it's doing something without feeling like I'm grabbing the whole paint and pulling it all away too much. Because when you dig down too deep, you do start seeing the canvas a little bit more, and you start seeing some textures from the canvas come through. When it dries, you see texture all over, but when it's wet, you can kind of tell how you're going with it. But this is the way I do it to get this type of effect. I like seeing people's swipes that are different. It shows that they got their own little spin on it, or style, which is what all of us seem to do. I have watched many people do swipes, and my swipes actually turn out quite different to everybody else's. It's just the way that it is. You can only... I'm not exactly copying, I'm just doing my own bit on what I see and how I think it should be done. So now I've turned it around. We get the card and we kind of match it up with where we touched before. See how there's a thicker bit where you see you haven't swiped yet? That's where I try and touch from. I didn't get myself a thing. And that one there's a little bit wonky, but I won't try to fix that. Because I did a very long swipe, I pulled most of the paint down already. If I try and fix it, well, there's not enough paint there for me to fix. Alright, that card is odd shaped. If you think your card's odd shaped and digging in one side more than the other, just check its straightness. If it's a bit bent, get rid of it, don't use it, or turn it around, whichever. I actually find these ones a little bit more harder to do, so if you are still learning, maybe do with the normal swipe. These off-centered ones can be a little bit more challenging. It's also holding the card. See, it's harder to lift the card one side or the other to get different peaks. And there is a tiny little skip. Okay. We will just cut a little slither and go in that gap. I'm actually finding this side a little bit more awkward to do for some reason. Yeah, I feel like I'm getting into it now. Sometimes you also have to not rush. I might have been slightly rushing. I try not to make my videos too long because I don't know how to edit, so I can't turn around and double the speed of my videos. I don't have time to edit really either. Probably because I still have to learn how to do it. That's my problem. And as you get down to the end, like I said before, it gets a bit harder to do the swipes. Alrighty, so that is the main bit done. I do feel I might have to use this little card one more time. So I can see the gold that bright gold on my paper towel. I'll bring it up and see if you can see it. So let me just do that. It's hard to see. The gold in my paper towel here is super shimmery. Got real nice sparkles in it. So I know that when this dries, it's going to have nice sparkles through it. Sometimes the paper towels look really cool. And it's a good idea of judging how it's going. So this is it. This is my Christmas morning swipe, everyone. Oh, it's still so hot. So yesterday when I got home from work, the temperature out the front of my house in the shade was 46 degrees Celsius. So I'm in a little valley and it warms up. So it was not so pleasant. And overnight it's cooled down a bit, but not as much as I would have liked. So, and today's supposed to be 41 again out where I am, which usually means it's going to be a bit more. But it's okay. It just makes it a little bit harder for me to do my art because I feel like I'm cooking while I'm trying to do it. And I don't want to drop any sweat in there either because I tend to sweat a little bit because I'm so hot. So, I quite liking this. It's the one thing I probably would have preferred if I had have done a little bit more better was here I touched both, so the two swipes are kind of touching. As I get to this part here, I kind of haven't gone close enough to where my first drag started to pick up that middle line. So you got a bit of a middle line of solid like paint there that hasn't really been swiped. That was something I needed to have aligned my card a little bit more higher, so I grabbed the whole lot. I think I was just getting hot and I might have just rushed it slightly. So keep that in mind. It doesn't look bad. It still suits the artwork. It's just something I would have tried to have done slightly differently. Because down here, it looks like I've matched it up better. And up there I have. It's just a little bit through here. But it's something that some people only would notice if you point it out, like I have. So, but yeah, I wanted to do a swipe on an angle. So this is how it's turned out. I can't wait to see the colours and see what it looks like when it dries. I've got good lacing. So the black is giving me a lot of the good lacing. The colours are lacing up as well. But the black really helps that out and gives it the contrast. Especially with me only using two colours. So blue, or what was it? Deep turquoise and bright gold. It needed black or something else in there, and I didn't want to use a metallic black. I wanted to use a plain black. So this is the artwork. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you're having a good Christmas morning or holidays off, if that's, I don't know what everybody celebrates. I usually go to my family, so I will be getting ready soon to head over there. I'm going to do a little swipe on the edge. I can just see too much paint that just sitting there looking like a plain drip mark. And when I say I've swiped the edge, I've swiped maybe only a centimetre or so. It just breaks it up. Yeah, better. Just makes it look a little bit more different on the edges. Alright, so we're going to come down and have a close-up. There we go. So I don't know if my lighting's that great at the moment. It's hard for me to see. But yeah, it's an angled swipe. It will dry slightly different to how it is. Not a lot different. I think it just makes it blend in a little bit more. So we've got, here we go. See, fantastic lacing. Just wishes off both ways, goes up to the points, and the colours will look really cool. And as we go along on the angle, you can see it goes all the way up. the two corners look a little bit more darker because usually there's a little bit more paint sometimes on the corners, because the middle, the paint was sinking slightly. But this doesn't worry. It doesn't worry me that they're slightly a bit darker. It's not overly noticeable. And again, it's fluid art. It's got to have its own little thing to it. I don't want a nice picture that I've just brought from a poster shop. I want something that I've created myself and looks kind of funky and awesome. And it brings back memories of all my hard work and things that I enjoy. So, yeah, there we go. See how there's long peaks on one side with shorter? And as we go along, they get more and more even until we get to this end where the short's on the other end and the longs are on this end. So, and you can do any shape you like. I just decided to do this today because my brain wasn't thinking too well from the heat. Alright everyone, have a wonderful night. So like, comment, share and subscribe if you have not already. And I will see you for another pour. Maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. We'll see. Alright, bye.